Welcome to the Knapp Daddy Racing League, where the competition is high and the theatrics are higher.
They bring it down the stretch one last time.
It's sputtering. He's shaking it.
It's sputtering. Brandon Lopez wins it at Charlotte in one of the greatest fuel strategies you will see.
It's close battles, tight racing, and non-stop action. Y'all ready?
Come to the home stretch for the final time. I think Ty Roberts is running out of gas. Ronald Breland's running out of gas. Ronald Breland going to be your winner of the very first race.
Get loud. Get ready.
It is going to be Hunter Simpson taking the race here at Auburn. Right there on that checkered line, it is going to burn it down with a well-earned and deserved victory.
Let's go. It's the Knapp Daddy Racing League, only on the Knapp Daddy Racing channel.
My apologies. Just realized that my mic was muted that whole time, but welcome to the Knapp Daddy Racing League channel here at Phoenix Speedway. So it's pretty good I get a second try to do this and get it right this time, but out here in the beautiful city of Phoenix in Arizona. This is actually kind of located on the outskirts of Phoenix in the desert, and I mean this place is in the middle of a desert. I had the pleasure of going here about a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, and I'm telling you, this is a racetrack surrounded by nothing but dirt and a few mountains around the edges. But a fun track, one of my favorite tracks to visit. It's going to be a mile-long track with a dog leg that these drivers are able to cut as we get ready to take on this playoff race 2. Got a nice track temp, 72 degrees here, weather sitting at 70. Definitely was not that temperature when I was out there 2 weeks ago in blistering heat. I mean, I think I was on the border of second-degree burns, but I'm going to be your host tonight, John Smith. My co-host, Hunter Foley, is dealing with some iRacing issues right now, but he will be here in just a minute as soon as he gets that thing loaded up. Seems like every week there's a new bug that gets one of us, and this week it was him that caught the iRacing bug, or the bugs bug that messed up his system, but nonetheless, we ride. We got 10 drivers here in this session, putting down lap times for you in practice. Going to get started with qualifying here in about 7 minutes. As we come into this second playoff race, I will pull up some standings here for you. Got our top 12 coming in here right now. Ty Robertson leading off this thing in first place, ahead by only about 5 points, and behind him Jamie Horn, Brandon Lopez tied it up for second place. Everett Larson in fourth place right now, behind 8 points behind Brandon Lopez, Jamie Horn, and 13 points behind your leader. He's looking for a good run here tonight. Mitchell Wilson's had a strong season all year. Looking for him to come out here, have a really good run. Ira Kohlhaas came in a little bit later to the season, but is able to put it down and able to win races. I know Brandon Trush likes this track. Zachary Baker, no movement over this past race. Greg McConey dropping down only 1 spot, but down only 1 point behind his teammate Zach Baker. And his teammate also, Brian Gibbons, in 10th. Frank Marchese in 11th. And Thomas McLaughlin is in 12th place right now. That is your top 12 in the playoffs. As these drivers will have 2 more chances to secure that pot at the end. This is a cash prize that these guys are racing for, so you know they're going to be racing hard, but also racing pretty clean. This is one of the cleanest leagues that I believe I have been a part of and got to witness. I mean, maybe the low car count helps, but I think there's a pretty good job of policing who gets in and who is able to run, and trying to keep it as high quality as possible. As I look at some of these iRatings over here, and it's kind of astounding how high some of they are, which I know iRacing is not, or iRating is not everything. But one that stands out the most, Ty Robertson, coming out here boasting a 4,500 iRating. And if that doesn't impress you, I think earlier this year, me and Ty were talking, I think he had close to a 3,400. So just in the past few months, able to pick that up over 1,000 just by doing official races. Also got Everett Larson up here close to a 3K iRating, trying to get around Phoenix. I know he said earlier he's not a fan of this track. It is a tough one to figure out. See if we can go on board here with Ira Kohlhaas as he goes around for his practice laps. Or maybe we will skip over to Greg McConey's. He's coming out of turn 3 and 4 here. Not going to utilize this dog leg here, probably doing more of a long run. You might see these guys early jump down on that dog leg to try to gain some time. Definitely in qualifying, you're going to want to use that dog leg as much as possible. Very slick coming off of turn 2 here as he gets back into the throttle in 4th gear, shifts up to 5th, and then hard on the brake. This turn here reminds me a lot of Richmond. These drivers will have 5 sets of tires tonight. 70% fuel, going to net them probably about 70 laps, I imagine. Just kind of depends on how much they shift, but stage brake's going to be at lap 35 and at lap 90, so they will have to put in a 55 lap stint there in the middle, and then at the end, this 150 lap race got another long stint ahead of them as well. So definitely some room for the short run guys, and definitely some room for the long run guys, and a lot of strategy going to come into play here. No fast repairs tonight. That is a mistake on my part. We were trying to do fast repairs for this playoffs, just one. But with everything going on this week between tornadoes today and life stuff, and then trying to get this iRacing update, which dropped a big update this past Tuesday, it has been a busy one. Right now we have about 2 minutes left of practice. So right now Ty Robertson leading it off in the practice with the fastest time right now. I'll show you some of the best times these guys have put down on the left side of your screen. I know Ty Robertson really likes this track. I was actually having a conversation with him earlier this week, or about a week ago, when I was watching the real race at Phoenix, and he was talking about how the high line in turns 3 and 4 was actually playing pretty well. Something I noticed that these real NASCAR drivers are doing was kind of wrapping a little higher in 3 and 4. I've never done it before on the iRacing sim, and it was working out very well for them. As I said, in the sim now is actually a pretty good move, so expect to see him maybe utilize more of that tonight. Definitely has an advantage and a way to get around. I think he might be trying to do a hot lap here. The way he's wrapping that corner and then diving straight down. Want to get close to that pit exit wall. Two strategies here is going around turns 1 and 2. You can take it high on entry and then exit low, just like Ty Robertson did there. You can also enter low and try to drive out hard on the very end of that. Definitely trade-offs for both, though. If you enter high, you're going to get more speed going in and try to maximize your runway speed on the back. If you enter low, you're going to cut the track a little bit and take the shorter angle, but also a lot harder to hold it together down there. Got Thomas McLaughlin out here from Hepzibah, Georgia. So he gets into the wall right as practice is going to end, sending us over to qualifying. While we're here, I want to give a little shout out to our sponsor, which is a self-plug, us. We're helping this, or getting this league going, and all the admins in this league. Want to appreciate those guys for doing all they've done all season long. Got some good stuff coming up for you in the next few seasons. After the next playoff race, we might take a 2-week, 3-week break. Not really sure yet, while we do some recruiting, and then we'll be starting a new season on Monday night. It's going to be at the same time, starting at 8:15 here on Knapp Daddy Racing League, or Knapp Daddy Racing broadcast on YouTube. But that is going to be in the O'Reilly cars, so making a big switch from these next gens to the O'Reillys next season. And then starting a new league on Saturday nights as well, which is going to be a ton of fun. Not sure if it's going to be broadcasted yet, but it is going to be a rotating car schedule. So these guys will go out here and drive the Gen 6 cars from 2008 or 2018, 2019, I believe, NASCAR. And then also be driving the 1987 NASCARs, the old legend cars featuring the Buicks, the Pontiacs. There is a Ford Thunderbird and a Chevy Monte Carlo with that. And then that will also rotate to the Indy IR18 car. So have to use a bunch of different skill sets to try to get around. But Everett Larson hard into the wall there. That's going to kill his qualifying time. Brandon Lopez, first one to bring it across. He is going to have the pole position for right now. I believe your first lap could be your fastest depending on how you set it up. You really want to try to get a hot lap by starting on that high side around 3 and 4, then diving really low, and I mean getting your car as close to that pit exit as possible. He actually makes a little bit faster time there by about 0.2. Going to set him up on the pole. Nice. Ty Robertson going to jump ahead of him by about 0.1, maybe a little more, as he's holding onto the pole right now.
I don't want you to think I'd abandoned you or anything. I'm just over here trying to do some computer troubleshooting. I had iRacing running perfectly fine on my computer, and then my power went out, and now it hates me. So we're just back here working on that, but you're doing a great job.
Thank you, sir. I think he got caught in a really bad time where he was updating his iRacing from the new patch they had today, and power went out in the middle of that, so I think it sent it on the fritz there. But Brandon Lopez got his qualifying times in, just getting some practice laps in now. Here's Thomas McLaughlin going around for his second lap now. I believe he tagged the wall in that first lap around, so the qualifying time did not register. Brian Gibbons currently sitting in 4th place, bringing around pit road, trying to practice that pit entry. Kind of a unique pit entry here. You enter coming off of turn 2 and have to wrap all the way around this track. Drivers will be expected to stay on the outside lane as they enter these pits. Greg McConaughey's already put down 1 lap of qualifying here. Again, I think he might have touched the wall, so the first lap did not register, but second lap looks pretty good right now. Good entry there into 3 and 4. Pushes out strong. That's going to put him in the 4th place position there. Currently don't have any other drivers on the track right now waiting for a qualifying lap from Jamie Horn, Brandon Trush. These guys might start from the back just to see how the field is going to go. Again, we will have stage breaks on lap 35 and lap 90. Allow these drivers to get as much stage points as possible to help their case here in this playoff run. I'll pull up these playoff standings here for you one more time, as we're sitting here waiting to see if we get anybody else out on the track. But again, Ty Robertson, your points leader coming into the night, looks pretty fast here, looking to hold on to that points lead and secure that cash prize there at the end. Jamie Horn chasing them down. I'm very interested to see how that dynamic plays out tonight. Jamie Horn is a very good long run driver, especially at this track. Knows how to save them pretty well. It's going to be interesting to see if he utilizes that top side more or stays low throughout the race through 1 and 2. If he's going to use that dog leg. I think I've said it a few times here on this broadcast, but every time that your tires go up and down instead of left and right, instead of turning the wheel, if the tires go up and down on those shocks, iRacing registers that as heating up the tires more. I believe the term that I've seen on most iRacing pages is shocking the tires. And that causes them to create some extra heat. So using that dog leg might be a little quicker, might not, but it might heat up your tires just a little bit more. Also, the big thing to watch out for, after these fuel stops, these guys will have fresh tires and a full tank of gas, so that cars can be weighted down pretty heavy on fresh tires. There's a bump coming around that dog leg, and if you stay on the track and hit it just right, a lot of these guys might go spinning. I say that from experience. Greg McConaughey getting it right there, doing a perfect job staying right above it. I think through me and Hunter's broadcasting days, we've seen that quite a few times right after the pit stop. These guys get a full tank and cold tires and hit that bump just right. Tends to scrape that diffuser a little bit and spin the cars out.
Oh man, when I was doing my official races this past week, it was at Phoenix for the ARCA cars, and I can't tell you how many times I saw people just trying to dig into that low side, especially coming off of 2 or running off of 3, and it just, away they went into the inside wall.
Going to be a fun one here for sure, though, to see how these guys are able to manage that. Guy I'm looking forward to seeing too, Mitchell Wilson. Been having some really strong runs. Trying to find a way to close the deal in one of these races here, move himself up in the points a little bit. If he takes stage 1, I would not be surprised. If you're a betting man, I think taking Mitchell Wilson to win stage 1 is a pretty good bet. We know he's got fantastic short run speed, probably the best in this whole pack here. And he is capable of going out there and stealing a stage, getting his 10 bonus points. You see him bouncing across that dog leg and scraping up the bottom of that car. Not going to do too much damage to these cars. I can't imagine driving these in real life and doing that and getting thrown around inside that car.
So fun little update from my side. Something got completely corrupted in my iRacing folder, and so I had to erase it from my computer and re-download it. So we are working on that.
That might be a common thing, because I had to do the same exact thing this week.
Yeah, I basically went down the entire list of the things that said, okay, you can change this, you can adjust this, maybe remove this folder, so on and so forth. Went down the whole list, and then it said if that continues to not work, you can either reach out to iRacing support, or you can just delete it and re-download it. I chose the delete it and re-download it option, and besides the fact that it's now a very large download that needs to re-download, it did in fact let me log in and load the game. So I'm here, just a long way away.
Well, worst case scenario, I can just stream it over to you as well, and we can go off that.
Might not be the worst idea.
We have just about 1 minute left of this warm-up session here, and before we get gridded up, we are going to take a quick break, and we will be right back.
The other downside is I can't hear anything that anybody's.
I apologize for that. We are back and getting going green here. Still trying to work through a few kinks here early on. Ty Robertson, your race leader. Using that dog leg, staying there on the inside of Brandon Lopez.
How do you feel about taking the dog leg versus just running the normal middle to high lane?
As the run goes on, I like taking the track better. Just kind of a personal preference there for me. I feel like it's a little bit more safe. You don't have to worry about people above you. If you do take that dog leg, the people above you do not have to yield to give you that spot back. That is their prerogative. If they want to give it to you or not, you are requesting the right of way, but they do not have to give it to you. But early on in the run, I might take it just a little bit more, get the tires just a little bit more warm. It can be faster, just kind of depends on how you exit turn 4. It's a big deal.
Sure.
It can be very loose coming off turn 4, coming back to the start finish. So if you don't hit it just right, you're going to lose time by taking the dog leg. But Ty Robertson out here to a lead right now in front of teammate Brandon Lopez. Mitchell Wilson in 4th place as Everett Larson's going to take that pass there on the inside. Try to secure a little bit of track position behind
Yeah,
Mitchell.
I saw where we had some Everett Larson fans in the chat as well. Billy Hines, go Everett. VO78787, go Everett. Got Deuce says, I can't pronounce that username. It messes me up every time. I'm saying, let's go Mitch, Redemption Day. Zach Baker saying, duty caller, I'm work, so no championship for me this year. See y'all next week. And then Hazard County Gaming saying, let's go number 46, Mitchell Wilson.
Yeah, Mitchell Wilson starting in 3rd place tonight, down 1 spot now, but Everett Larson up 5 spots off of that restart. Able to push his way into 3rd place behind teammates Brandon Lopez, Ty Robertson. Got Greg McConey currently sitting in 5th place right now. Looking for a big run out of him. He's got that new Boilermakers paint scheme ready for the March Madness coming up here. To be honest, I haven't even checked the brackets. I don't even know where Purdue is at in the bracket. I know they're usually there. I know I usually pick them to be in the Final Four most years, and they break my heart every year.
I think Greg would be happy to hear you say that, but...
Well, I'm sure they break his heart too, so...
Yeah, I'm quite sure. Just like North Carolina breaks your heart every year.
We've had some good ones. So Jamie Horn, Brandon Trush not getting on the track here tonight. It's going to make your last car on the lead lap. Thomas McLaughlin sitting here in 8th place right now. So he might be having some internet issues. Talked to him a little bit earlier. I know he was having some troubles. A lot of storms moving across the area.
Yeah, that's the weird part is we've had 2 separate really bad storms today in North Carolina. We had one this morning, like around 10 o'clock, where we had like a whole like imminent tornado warning. It was like something sliding there pretty hard on the bottom side of the track, but we had a whole storm first thing this morning. We got like the tornado siren and everything. Wasn't that bad. Had another bad storm at about 5:30. Got through that, and then we're sitting at home, and I went and loaded all my stuff up and just jumped into Discord, went to go grab a Sprite, and then I came back and the power went out. It was out for about 4 or 5 minutes, and then it came right back, but in that short amount of time, my iRacing went away.
Greg McConey making his way through the pack here, moving himself up into that 3rd place spot in front of Mitchell Wilson and Brandon Lopez, and still looking for more. So we got Rocky the Trash Panda mascot manning some of these drones tonight, trying to get around and get some good shots for you guys. Matter of fact, I think we got show some Rocky cam here as he's flying the drone for us. Big shout out to Rocky for risking it all and putting himself above the track there, something I would not do. Oh, Mitchell Wilson hard into the wall there. He's going to fall back a little bit. Brian Gibbons now on his inside. Gibbons able to get around Brandon Lopez. Lopez has fell back a few spots here, now down 3 spots from where he started. And Ira Kohlhaas looking to set up that pass too. Mitchell Wilson also falling back. Ooh, Lopez sideways, able to hold it together.
Oh, that slipped really hard on him right there.
Now Greg McConey in 2nd place here, getting around Everett Larson. So McConey on a tear.
All the way up to 2nd place. Got a little over 2 seconds to try to run down Ty Robertson there, but Greg McConey turning it on here a little bit. Looks like Everett Larson caught the wall just a little bit there as well.
I'm telling you, this is probably one of my top 3, maybe even 2 favorite tracks. I think Iowa's a big favorite of mine. Chicagoland's definitely up there, but Phoenix has always been top 3 for me. Just rotating in and out of being my favorite and not favorite, just depending on how that week goes. But it's such a skilled track with a lot of input. You got to think about what you're doing every single lap, hit your marks every single lap. And there's different lines that you can take depending on how the car feels too. So it's not like a one groove track where you just have to stay on the bottom and run it the whole time. You can make passes high and low here, dog leg. See Greg and Everett taking that middle lane through there, but Ty Robertson's still your leader. That new paint scheme there for the 88 car. I believe Ty's going to be switching to the 9 car next season. Also don't have Zach Baker here tonight. Have an update on him. Going from the 12 to the 77 next season. One guy I am worried about for the next season coming up here as we go to these O'Reilly cars is Ty Robertson. We know that he loves those cars and he is very, very good in them. But he's got a firm grip here on the first place spot and on the points race as we're in this second playoff race of 3.
He is taking off to a pretty big lead right here. Greg McConey down behind him about 2.5 seconds. It's like Ty Robertson kind of just hovered right between that 2.5 second lead, and Everett Larson sticking right to the bumper of Greg McConey. It's looking like we have Thomas McLaughlin 3 laps down now as well. I know you said he might have been having some internet issues, but I think he's gotten it back on the track as well.
Thomas, one of the admins for the league. More the rules moderator side of things, but believe he has said that he is going to be doing full-time race control next season, which is a blessing. Takes a lot off our plate. It's like Brandon Lopez trying to make a charge again here on the outside of Ira Kohlhaas. It's going to be very hard to make a push off of this corner. See Kohlhaas take the bottom side of that dog leg. And then choosing to wrap the very bottom of the track, shortest side around. Gonna have to get a good exit here. It's gonna be pretty loose. It's Lopez able to get around there on the outside. He's gonna move himself up into the 5th place position again. Now chasing down Brian Gibbons, who is sitting in 4th place, up 1 spot from where he started at tonight. Gibbons had ran into some bad luck over the past few weeks. Looking to turn that thing around here tonight. I believe he's actually making up some time there on your leaders as well.
Looked like it. I was about to comment and say that it looked like McConey and Larson might have lost a little bit of time on Ty Robertson, but it looks like Brian Gibbons starting to get a little bit closer to that bumper of Everett Larson there as they are battling back and forth for 2nd and 3rd.
Yeah, what Everett's doing there is putting a lot of pressure on Greg McConey too, and they can get very, very loose, mainly through 3 and 4 if somebody is right on your bumper trying to get on for an exit. So it could be disrupting that car. McConey not letting him get away too far so you can play a little bit of defense while you're back there trying to get a pass. But Larson going to try the high side here. It's a very wide exit. You can get a good punch out of the turn. As they go door to door here through 1 and 2.
Woo.
McConey with a move to slide up the track, get right in front of Larson, hold off that spot for a little bit longer. We have 8 laps left in this stage. So I try to math it.
I guess it'd be 10, wouldn't it? Or 11?
I'm sorry, yes,
35.
I was counting 30. Right now we are sitting at 12 laps until the stage. I am so sorry.
It's been all over the place today, man. I know you had a really busy day, and I was ready to come in here and try to put on a good performance, and then my everything decided to break. So Hazard County Gaming saying, wonder how these guys would fare at I-55 with a cup car. I'm not sure what I-55 is, but
if it's the same I-55 I'm thinking about, I believe Everett Larson might do pretty well there. I feel like he's pretty good at those tracks like that. We had a little conversation with him this week about the tracks he's racing at, what his future plans are for his in real life racing.
Yeah, he's one of those kids that is just really hard not to root for. I mean, you talk to him, he's just so positive all the time. Just has such a passion for racing and for the industry, and like wanting to like grow his knowledge and get better all the time. And I mean, hard not to root for him.
Yeah, he was asking me for advice on some tracks. I'm like, buddy, I'm asking you for advice on tracks. I'm learning from you here.
Look at those rotors glowing on the outside right of Greg McConey's car.
Yeah, definitely going to heat up, especially as you go into turn 3 there. Got to get hard on the brakes.
Looks like Everett Larson's going to be able to make that pass at Greg McConey there, get himself into the second spot.
Pull up those last lap times for you. See Ty Robertson out there about 5/100ths of a second on that last lap. So they come around for another one. Robertson much faster on that lap, but so is Larson as he's able to get around Greg McConey, get some free air, free space out there. Still about 300ths, 400ths off of your leader. I mean, Robertson, we haven't talked much about him. He's just made it a boring race, which is a good thing if you're the leader. You want to make this thing as boring as possible.
Is that a new Knapp Daddy scheme there for Ty Robertson?
That is not. I did not make that scheme, but I like the gold and the white. I believe my trading paints might be acting up on it. I don't think it's supposed to have that frosted looking layer over top of it.
Ty Robertson really kind of ran away with it here in this first stage. Almost 5 seconds of a lead now at Phoenix, and he has just gotten out front and stayed out front, which, I mean, realistically, it's about how you want it if you're going to be starting in front. And again, look at the rotor on that front right, glowing bright orange as he was getting into the corner there.
Yeah, you'll probably definitely see it hard right here. Yeah, that nice glow as he goes around. It's about where our seats were there in turn 3 going around Phoenix the other day, and I'm telling you, if you're looking for shade out there, you won't find it. It's right in the sun. I was hoping for a night race, but honestly didn't even know I was going to that race until the day before and able to secure some tickets, but didn't even know they were going to be out there. I was going out there for a different reason to Phoenix, and had a few hours to kill before a flight. So let's just go to a race and see what happens.
Let's go watch some racing. Why not?
It was a good time. I did select Mr. Ryan Blaney to win before that race started. And to a physical standpoint, I was right. Happy about that from a physical standpoint. Monetary gains.
Less so.
That was after just throwing all sorts of money away over UFC fights.
Looking like Ty Robertson. I mean, untouchable here in stage 1 as we are going to start approaching the end of stage 1 here at Phoenix. Remember, our stages tonight are going to be on laps, or on the completion of laps 35 and on the completion of lap 90 throughout this 150 lap race. Brandon Lopez all the way to the inside of Greg McConey, makes the pass to see if he's able to actually hang on to it here.
Able to get it there, so he's got to hold on to it this one time around. Greg McConey's going to send it hard into the corner there on the inside, slides up the track a little bit. That's not going to do it for him. Lopez able to hold onto that top line, maybe hits the wall a little bit.
Ooh.
Kohlhaas, same thing.
Of the wall there.
I believe Lopez going to be able to secure that third place spot for the stage. That was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. Gibbons going to be in 5th, Ira Kohlhaas 6th, Mitchell Wilson bringing it home in 7th for this first stage. And Thomas McLaughlin rounding out the field. trying my best to get a caution flag here going.
There we go. It looked like some blinking there from Thomas McLaughlin.
But Ty Robertson going to take that first stage easily with Everett Larson behind him in second place. I believe Brandon Lopez actually finished that stage in front of Greg McConey. So it will be scored as Brandon Lopez getting that third place spot, Greg McConey fourth, Brian Gibbons fifth, Ira Kohlhaas in sixth, and Mitchell Wilson seventh, and Thomas McLaughlin in eighth place.
Here they come down the pits. I'm assuming Thomas McLaughlin probably going to be the only person to stay out right here, trying to get a lap back. But everybody else is going to be bringing it down here for, I would assume this is 4 tires and a full tank of gas. I cannot imagine why you would want to take 2 tires here, but I've seen weirder strategies.
Yeah, I think with a small field like this too, like 4 tires is the way to go. If you're Ty Robertson, I think that's a guarantee. These guys have 5 sets of tires they can play with. Just seems like the right call right now in this situation, especially again with a small pack. Why not? I like that run that Greg McConey had there. Maybe opened it up a little bit too early, but that's the good thing about stage breaks is that you can kind of adjust and move on from there as McConey gets out in the second place spot, Larson in third. Gibbons coming out in fourth. Kohlhaas fifth, and I believe Brandon Lopez getting some damage fixed. Same thing for Mitchell Wilson, still sitting there on pit road. Thomas McLaughlin now bringing it down pit road. Ira Kohlhaas bringing it back down so he does not go a lap down. Lopez coming out. Mitchell Wilson out on the track as well.
Shuffle up our field a little bit because I think it's going to be Ty Robertson starting in first. Then you have Everett Larson right beside him. Brian Gibbons in third. Greg McConey is going to restart in fourth. And Mitchell Wilson's going to have fifth. Kohlhaas brought it back down pit road, so let's see if he's going to be able to get out of there before Brandon Lopez, and it does not look like it.
Yeah, Hazard County Gaming dirt track in Peevely, Missouri. Also in iRacing. Green flag racing here. Not really sure what was up with that jump. As the back of this pack gets a little bit spread out 3 wide. Brian Gibbons slides up high, able to keep it straight. Again, these cold tires, man, the different weights of the cars can definitely change some things. Gibbons doing a fantastic job to keep it straight there. Now he's got his teammate, Greg McConey, there on the inside.
Brian looks like he's still trying to get it back up to speed. Now I think he's got it back.
Yeah, Gibbons doing a good job working his way through the pack that last run. This stint going to be a little bit longer though, so tire saving is going to be more crucial here. You can't just hold it wide open and send it. Got Mitchell Wilson there on the back bumper of Brandon Lopez trying to fight for that spot. You know, Brandon Lopez out there doing some storm chasing today. He's actually providing me some weather updates this morning. Big weather guy.
He had messaged me as well, like, hey, like, be careful. This, like, looks really crazy. And I don't think, at least as far as I've heard, no tornadoes touched down, at least on my side of the state. But we had the tornado sirens go off this morning around 10:30. There was never any tornadoes, but there was clouds spinning in a sketchy way over Winston-Salem, and so they sounded the alarm. But I don't think anything ever really came of it. But we had some pretty righteous storms today, though. It's just annoying that during all the storms, I don't think we ever lost power, and then when it's barely raining outside, you know, that's when it decides to go. But that is beside the point. Everett Larson trying to stick to right about a half a second behind the race leader, Ty Robertson, right now, trying not to let Ty build out that big of a lead that he had on stage one. Mitchell Wilson now only about 1.3 seconds back as well. Brandon Lopez currently running just over 2 seconds, and Greg McConey almost 4 seconds, trying to keep it under 4 seconds here as he gained a little bit of time back.
Yeah, and the trend I'm seeing right here is a lot of these guys behind Ty Robertson are gaining on him, and generally when I do that, when I'm behind somebody, a leader as fast as Robertson, I get kind of sketched out whenever I see I'm gaining them pretty fast. Thinking maybe he knows something I don't. I should probably be saving just a little bit more. But track position is going to be a big deal here if you can get out front and try to hold on to that lead, maybe pick up a few laps led. Could be very beneficial for you.
Oh, 100%, especially since we are going to be running a little bit of a longer stint here in stage 2. So these guys are going to have to take a little bit of strategy into play on whether they're going to try to make it all the way to the end. I'm not 100% sure what the gas is set at. Can they even make the second stage on gas without a green flag stop?
I believe they probably will. I don't know if the tires will let them. Ty Robertson building that lead out just a little bit more here. You're going to see these guys shifting a little bit as they come around this track. It's another reason why I like it, because you actually have to do a little bit instead of just drive and turn left.
This is actually, so funny enough, I know a lot of times we talk about tracks that like you really like, or that always made sense to you. Phoenix is actually one of the tracks that made a lot of sense to me pretty early on. I hadn't raced there a whole lot, but then it was one of the tracks that was in the officials over the past week, and I actually performed really, really well there. Didn't have too much trouble, didn't get caught up in too much. I don't think I even once did the snap loose on a entry of turn and hit the wall, but Phoenix was really, really fun. It's definitely been one of my tracks that's been one of my favorites over the course of kind of learning the process here.
Yeah, it's a good track to practice at because it tests a lot of different skills at the same time. And you got to work on braking, got to work on letting it roll through a corner, when to shift up and down, how to time passes and set up somebody, because you do have to set up somebody maybe at least a turn in advance, if not more, to try to get a good run around them, unless you were just that much faster. But you see Mitchell Wilson trying that same thing right here with Everett Larson. Both of these guys have fell back about a second on your leader, Ty Robertson. Brandon Lopez sitting in 4th place right now, 2.6 seconds behind your race leader. Got about 0.8 behind Mitchell Wilson. And about 1.6 behind him, you're going to have Greg McConey, but Mitchell Wilson looking to that inside now on Everett Larson. Wilson able to secure that pass, gets right up in front of him. The high side might work here the way he entered that corner, so this is going to be a good run for Wilson. He's going to pull out just a little bit. He's going to sit comfortably in that 2nd place spot, but that allows Brandon Lopez to pull in that gap just a little bit, down to 0.2 now. Was 0.8 about 2 laps ago. Brandon Lopez having a pretty good season here. I believe he's picked up 2 wins, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe that's correct.
Have to look at my broadcasting notes here. Picked up that win last week at Homestead, Miami, and also at Darlington Raceway back in January, earlier in the season.
Speaking of tracks that make sense or don't make sense, Darlington's one of those ones that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that's a very much a rhythm track. And if you fall out of rhythm, it's hard to get back in rhythm, kind of like a lot like Bristol is and your Dovers.
Yeah, I think the first couple, I don't think I've raced it many times, I mean, maybe 4 or 5 total, and I don't think my rhythm's working too good there. At least it hasn't yet, but unlike Shakira, my hips do lie when I'm at Darlington.
But Shakira has rhythm.
Yeah, she'd probably be great at Darlington.
My apologies, I just realized I had Rocky on the screen still for quite a while there. Just getting invested in all this action as Everett Larson's actually going to drop back to 4th place now behind Brandon Lopez. Might be saving up a little bit for a run here at the end of this stage. This stage will end at lap 90. Once the last car on the lead lap crosses the stripe to make it 91.
Robertson's starting to build that lead back out again. I mean, 2.1 seconds of a lead, and that's over Mitchell Wilson right now. Brandon Lopez looks like he's trying to gain a little bit of time now that he got around Everett Larson there. He's only about 4/10 behind Mitchell Wilson there. And Everett Larson kind of sitting pretty consistent right there over the 3-second mark.
And if you are out there in the streaming world watching this stream, please let us know if you're having any issues with the streaming. I'm looking up on my side now, and I know that I have terrible internet as it is, apparently. No matter how much you pay for it, my internet provider decides not to give you the full amount and make you pay the same amount every year or every month. We're also trying a little bit new things tonight with the streaming to mitigate some issues here. So if you have any troubles, please let us know in the comments. Also, make sure you do a little like, subscribe, check out some of our other content. We are starting to post a lot more shorts on YouTube now. I applied for media passes for a few races, and I got denied from one of them. We're going to keep trying. We were told we need to get our YouTube page going a little bit better.
Well, that's dumb.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Which is a great reason to give when someone tells you that you can't do something. Well, that's dumb.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's going to make them absolutely want to invite us back.
So we might not see you at Martinsville. Moral of the story. I know Darlington was the one that we got denied from, so won't be going there for free.
Martinsville's the track that I saw the most, like, growing up. We always grew up in Virginia and or in Tennessee, Knoxville, and Martinsville was the one that my dad always would get free tickets to go see. And it's a cool track. It's not my most favorite race in the world, but it's a cool track. A lot of history.
I think I've been to Martinsville twice now.
Ooh, big pop off the wall right there.
We went to Rockingham a whole lot when I was younger. And then they closed that down. That was our closest track. And then I don't think I ever went to Charlotte until I was maybe like 16, 17, 18.
I was a little older the first time I went to Charlotte, and then that was where we went last year. Got Robbie Wilson here in the comments saying, "Come on, Mitchell, the gas pedal is under the right foot. Keep it proportionate to the floorboard."
I love that.
Mitchell Wilson still doing really well, about little over 3 seconds behind the race leader, Ty Robertson, but he has a mirror full of Everett Larson right now.
Wilson doing his best to protect that inside there. You got to really make sure nobody gets on the inside of you coming out of turn 2. Coming out of turn 4, not so bad, but if they get on your inside coming out of 2, they're almost guaranteed to make that pass on the inside. And that's kind of the whole goal when trying to make a pass here.
Ooh, looked like Everett was going to try to take it up to the top right there, and I don't think he got quite the run that he wanted to. Mitchell Wilson able to get a little bit of separation there for a second, but it looks like Everett's charging right back up there.
Yeah, and I like this line that Wilson's doing right now. He's
stuck the wall, though.
Yeah, Wilson's protecting that inside very well through 1 and 2. Is exactly what he needs to do. Meanwhile, Brandon Lopez, 2.3 behind your race leader, trying to pull him in just a little bit here. So pull up some last lap times for you on the left-hand side of your screen. Lopez actually running a faster lap than your leader by almost about 2/10 there.
I was saying, not by a small margin either. So at this point, you got to start wondering. We're approaching lap 70 here. Most everybody would have pitted. It would have been like lap 38 or so. So, I mean, you're getting to that point where you're 30 laps in or anything like that. You have to kind of start thinking that the tires are starting to burn up a little bit.
Not burning up, though. Greg McConey's starting to turn it on, making a run, trying to pull himself back up to the front. Ran a lap time very close to the leader's lap time that last one around. See if I pull up some deltas here for you. So gaining just a little bit, but not losing much. But definitely gaining on the guys in front of them. So we'll go up here to the distance between him and Everett Larson right now. Pulling in by almost 6/10 over the past 6 laps. Larson and Wilson going at it. Neither one I'm willing to concede that spot there. That turn is so wide out of turn 4. I mean, you can get to the throttle so early, much earlier than you would expect. I like to compare tracks to other tracks, and that exit is a lot like the exit of Kentucky turn 4, Texas turn 4.
Oh, here goes Greg McConey now looking to the inside.
Or a Texas turn 2, I'm sorry, but just big wide exit. You can get on the throttle pretty early and gas it out of there and drive all the way up to the top. But McConey able to get around Mitchell Wilson now. Wilson going to try to cross him up. If he can get to the inside, might be able to secure a pass here in 3-4 if he can hold the door here. Not able to, falls in line. Looking to the outside. I'm not sure if he's going to have it here. We were just talking about McConey turning it on a little bit here at the end of this stage. About 17 to go here until stage 2. Meanwhile, Ty Robertson out to a 2.8 second lead here. And I mean, just cruising. Very comfortable, very relaxed. Don't have to do too much right now. A good turn there by Larson, using that yellow line there at the bottom, taking the shortest part of the track. You will see some of these NASCAR drivers actually go below that apron. iRacing does not allow you to do that, not in the terms of rules, but just in the terms of the physics of these cars. That is ice over there. If you would like to see NASCAR on ice, purchase your tickets. It will be on the apron of turn 1 and 2.
It's like Disney on ice, but louder, and it smells like burnt rubber and swear words.
Yeah, they don't sing songs or anything either.
No, not songs.
Going back here to Ira Koha, sitting in 6th place, exactly where he started this race at. Trying to make up some time to get around Mitchell Wilson before the end of this stage and run it out at the end to try to secure himself a win. Ira's a sneaky competitor, though. I know he can ride here in the back for a while, and he'll pop up there at the front at the very end. And I mean, I relate to that a lot. I like that strategy. It's hard for me to get into the mindset of caring about stages when I've only ever cared about winning the race. So I usually don't care about stages, but another league that I'm in has taught me that stage points do matter a whole lot.
Absolutely.
Ooh, pops the wall hard there, but yeah, I always say the most important lap is the last one. You can be in last place for 149 laps, but if you lead the last lap, you're still a winner.
100%. Unless they're stages, in which case you're still a winner, but you didn't get very many points.
Yeah, Ty Robertson going to take away at least 10 points here. If he holds on to this lead, it's going to be an extra 20 points that he's going to be taking away here tonight. Lopez sitting in 2nd would get 9 points if he finished in this spot here with 11 to go in this stage there. Coming up on Thomas McLaughlin. Ty Robertson trying to put him another lap down.
I did also get some confirmation from Jamie Horn and Brandon Trush regarding them not being able to start the race tonight. Jamie has been having internet issues due to the weather. His internet went out right before the race and then was about to come back. And Brandon was not feeling well and was unsure that he was even going to be able to run the 150 laps. And with Jamie's internet being on the fritz anyway, he didn't want to mess up anybody else's race. And Brandon took that opportunity to get some rest.
I do not blame them. We had some considerations about moving this race tonight, actually, just because of the weather. And I know right before we started, I had a little scare as well. I know your internet went out. I know Thomas McLaughlin, I was talking to him for a second, and his internet went out while I was talking to him. And then my whole iRacing just kind of locked up and shut down the network for a second. But so between weather and I think the updates, I think there's just a lot going on with iRacing today. But some exciting updates with iRacing, dropping that new Dodge Ram truck and the St. Pete road course.
Oh, I've loved all the updates that have been coming out recently. It's just very unfortunate that I had one right when my power went out, and then it corrupted the whole thing. And in between, you know, trying to watch the race and make sure that everything's working in the background and everything, my iRacing is re-downloading at the blazing fast speed of 1.01 megabytes per second, which if anyone was curious about how long it would take to fully re-download iRacing at that speed, your answer would be about 20 hours.
Nice. We'll see you next week. Fast as Xfinity internet, as they used to say, but I guess the saying is, I don't know what the saying will be this year for the O'Reilly series. I don't have Xfinity internet, and this is like one of the first times in my life I can actually say I miss Xfinity internet.
Never thought those words were going to be coming out of your mouth, did you?
I've moved a lot of places, and Xfinity has been the best for me so far. A little sponsor shout out for them if they want to come on board. Hit up the Knapp Daddy Racing League for some small viewership.
And I also feel like I can pretty confidently say at the same time, you know, we will accept most sponsors. If you want to give us money, we will accept it. Unless you're Spectrum Internet. In that case, you can go away forever.
Yes, that is the problem I've had for the past 2 years. And not just on the internet side, on the customer service side.
Robbie Wilson in the comments saying, surprised Mitchell able to make it to Phoenix tonight. It is snowing like crazy at home. What is going on with the weather today? We've got tornadoes and horrible storms all through the Carolinas, and Mitchell's having a snowstorm.
I feel like we should pull up Brandon Lopez to the booth for a weather update. He's currently sitting in second place right now, still about 3.7 behind your leader. Hasn't really lost much over the past few laps here. But yeah, there has been a snowstorm moving across behind this front coming through, which I was informed by Brandon this morning that this is called a squall, and he put a lot of acronyms in there but did not explain what the acronyms meant. But it all sounded pretty serious. And there's some snow coming, and luckily I think we're going to miss the snow where I'm at, and I think we got really lucky missing most of the bad weather this morning, just a lot of rain, a little bit of wind, but I know everywhere from about 10 miles east of me on was pretty bad all the way to the coast. But Brian Gibbons bringing it down pit road on lap 89 here, stage about to end, so he's going to take a pit stop here before the stage.
Everybody else keeping it out on the track and still letting it eat. Ty Robertson again going to be going wall to wall here in stage 2 at Phoenix. Brandon Lopez now about 4 seconds behind. Looks like Ty Robertson decided to step on it a little bit to close this out. Everett Larson going to be back there in 3rd place. Greg McConey in 4th. Mitchell Wilson going to come home in 5th. Eric Kohlhaas 6th. Then Brian Gibbons down on pit road, and that is about going to close out our stage here. There, Greg McConey coming across. Mitchell Wilson makes it across, then Ira Kohlhaas. And that will be stage 2 here at Phoenix Speedway. Congratulations once again to Ty Robertson for another dominating performance in stage 2. If you're these guys that have been behind Ty here at this point for most of the race, I mean, what are you thinking? What are you gonna try to do here in the final stage of this race to try to run him down? Because it doesn't seem like anybody's been able to have anything for him so far.
You got to put the bumper to his left rear quarter panel, and I'm just joking, dude. I don't think anybody in this league would do that, but in all seriousness, it's going to be hard to catch him just the way he's running this track and the way he's got it figured out. It almost becomes like a second sense at some point when you're running a track like this about where you're going to go and how you're going to drive it lap after lap. This is one of those tracks you don't want to learn on the fly. I know I'm very guilty of trying to learn tracks as I go along, but this is one track that's very hard to do just because there's so many lanes and different options you can take. If you're trying to do that, the race is going to be over before you finally figure it out. Your last 10 laps might be your fastest yet, but it's not going to help if you're in the back. But I mean, the biggest thing I can think is just try to out-tire him. I don't know if that's going to work out, depending on how his tire wear has been this race, but if I'm behind him, I'm going to try to sit back a little bit and let it ride just a little bit longer and hopefully not let him get out to a 3-second lead and then make a huge run at the end. But I believe also that's what these guys have been trying to do all night. It's a lot easier said than done.
It's like Ty Robertson going to win the race off pit road once again. Everett Larson going to find 2nd place there. Greg McConey going to come off in 3rd. Mitchell Wilson in 4th. Ira Kohlhaas is going to come off in 5th. And it looks like Brandon Lopez going to grab the 6th spot there. Brian Gibbons bringing it back down on pit road here. Everett Larson saying that it snowed in Bristol. And then Robbie Wilson saying that there was a 45-degree temperature drop in 22 hours. Good Lord.
Yeah, I accidentally pulled an all-nighter last night, trying to get prepared for some stuff this week, some school stuff. And when I left the house this morning early, it was, I think, 65, 70 degrees. And then I got back home and took a nap, woke up to 40-degree weather.
I don't even know what the... Well, I mean, it's about like that outside for me right now, too. It was 66 today. And then when I wake up tomorrow morning, it's going to be 29, and it's going to be a high of 43 tomorrow. Yay.
What I love about that is I just planted a whole backyard full of Bermuda seed literally a week ago.
Fantastic.
Absolutely. I love that for me. Just burn off the whole backyard, do a little bit of aeration, you know, patching up the grass, scout it beforehand to get it low and get the weeds down, burn it off and plant it, and now that's gone. But where we're at right now, coming back to this green flag racing, Ty Robertson with a big jump there on the inside lane as he takes that dog leg all the way to the bottom.
Yeah, I mean, he really buried that thing there. Good night.
I believe that was Greg McConey as well that went all the way to the bottom, following down there. Brandon Lopez hard into the wall, going to fall back. McLaughlin, similar boat. Brian Gibbons still down on pit road.
Yeah, I think Brian was dealing with a little bit of damage. I know he got into the wall pretty early on in that second stage run, and I think he was kind of dealing with that for pretty much the rest of the stage. We saw him pretty consistently, about 15, 16 seconds behind the pace there, but Everett Larson, Mitchell Wilson, both trying to run down Ty Robertson. I think it's one of two ways, like you were saying. You either have to kind of just really sit back and try to out-tire Ty Robertson and make sure that you have something to go up there and run him down with in that last, 15, 20 laps. Or if you feel like you have that short run speed and you really want to get out there, you can try to get out there in front of him early, get that clean air away from him. Because, I mean, if he gets out there like he's been doing and gets that half a second to a second lead, he's just going to be able to build on that so easily. Clean air is such an important thing to have at Phoenix.
Oh, Mitchell Wilson getting right up to him. Some good racing there as he gets right to his door, doesn't really make contact, able to get around him.
I mean, look at the takeoff that these three guys had, though. Ty Robertson in the lead by right about 0.4 of a second, a little under. Mitchell Wilson actually gaining a lot of ground right through here. Everett Larson sitting about 0.6 of a second back, and then Greg McConey and Ira Kohlhaas already almost 3 seconds back. Like you said, maybe that's the plan there for those teammates to really sit back and try to power forward later in the run, but all three of these guys took off like rocket ships, and it's looking like Mitchell Wilson going to try to get up there and try to challenge for the race lead here.
Yeah, and I think if you're back there in the back trying to save a little bit of tire, Greg McConey, Brandon Lopez, Ira Kohlhaas, it's kind of a symbiotic relationship that you're working with these guys at the front. You're hoping Mitchell Wilson gets in front of Ty Robertson, kind of slows him down, makes him work those tires a little bit more than he's been having to do this whole race. So in order for these long-term strategies to work out for this race specifically, I think that you need Mitchell Wilson out there racing hard, being up there at the front, trying to take the lead, which he's looking to do right here.
Oh, he is driving the wheels off of it right now. There is no tire saving in the mind of Mitchell Wilson right now. But like you said, for the rest of the drivers, that's something that you're pretty encouraged to see, because Mitchell's making Ty have to run a race that he hasn't had to run all night long.
Little bump from Mitchell Wilson there, put him into the corner. Nothing egregious, just make him overshoot that corner a little bit, try to burn up some of that right front. See if Wilson shoots low here. Robertson doing a great job protecting that low side. That's the part.
Yeah, it almost sounded like he was out of the gas a little bit too. Like he did not want to drift up at all. He wanted that low line all to himself.
He might have a door right here. He's going to have a door.
He is going to have a door. Ty Robertson got into the wall a little bit right there on that exit. That helped him get that run to the inside. He's going to get it. Mitchell Wilson taking the lead for the first time tonight. How is Ty Robertson going to be able to manage for the first time not racing from the front?
We have a lead change. I believe this will be the first official lead change of the race. Yeah, it is. It's going to mark it that as the first official lead change for this race. Ty Robertson been leading wall to wall beforehand.
It had been an absolutely dominating performance for Ty Robertson. I mean, like you said, what Mitchell Wilson's doing right here, and it obviously remains to be seen if this will work out for him and win him the race here, but he just went out there and he made Ty Robertson run a race that he hasn't had to run. Ty Robertson has been able to do exactly what he wanted when he wanted to do it. And we saw that go even through stage 1 and stage 2, where, he got out to a lead, got maybe a half a second to a second, got all the clean air, and then he's able to save as he wants. He's able to burn them down as he wants. And we saw that with his lap times. I mean, he was still running very consistent lap times late into the runs. Nobody was catching him. They might catch him for maybe 5-10 laps, and then he'd step on it a little bit, still be able to have that clean air, and was just pulling away with it. Now for the first time here tonight, he's going to be back there in second place. He's about a half a second behind Everett, excuse me, not Everett, behind Mitchell Wilson, because now Mitchell's got all that clean air.
And if you're Ty, I don't think he's extremely worried right now. Still got about 44 laps to go here. But Mitchell Wilson needs to get out to a little bit of a lead and then find a buffer zone that you're comfortable being in front by, and just pace to that. Maybe like it's 0.8 for you, maybe it's a full second, maybe it's 0.6 where he's at now. But if Robertson starts to close it in, maybe step on it just a little bit more. If you're pulling away, maybe back off just a little bit to try to mitigate some of that tire and try to save just a little bit. There's no point in getting out by about 3 seconds and not having any tire at the end, because you know these guys behind you are saving up pretty hard. So tire management here is going to be key. Mitchell Wilson controls his pace right now, so it is in his hands.
Robbie Wilson in the comments, way to go, Mitchell. You put a big dent in the floorboard and not the fender.
We need Robbie up here in the booth.
Go ahead.
I need Robbie up here in the booth.
I was going to say, we talked about it throughout the season. You know, you have these guys who have a lot of these different race strategies. Some guys are more in and run for a long run. Some guys are more short run guys. Mitchell Wilson been one of our strongest short run guys here that we've had this season. And, you know, in a lot of the races that we've had, it has come down to long run, being able to save a tire or something like that. And that hasn't really fallen into Mitchell Wilson's pocket. But at the same time, in this particular case, I think if they were to kind of, like you were saying, kind of sit back and wait for Ty Robertson, I mean, he's done such an amazing job of saving tires. So even if they did a great job of saving it, I don't know if they would have been able to get out there and run them down. I think in this case, the short run speed that Mitchell Wilson's shown both tonight and throughout the season was able to kind of get him that challenge, and that's what has him in first place right now.
And doing a really good job holding on to that right now, but he does have about 39 laps to go here.
I say now, like you said, now it's okay. I got the lead. I did what I needed to do. I made Ty Robertson run uncomfortably, which is probably the first time he's had to run uncomfortable tonight. That got you the race lead. You got some laps led under your belt. Now you want to go out here and win this thing. So now you got to start figuring out, okay, how can I pace this to where it's a point where I'm comfortable with my lead, like you were just talking about, but also to where I can save a little bit of tire, so Ty Robertson's not just going to immediately run me back down, because it actually kind of looks like Ty Robertson there gained about a tenth that last lap, and he's continuing to close right here.
The thing is, too, Ty's going to have to use a lot more tire, too, to catch up with him, especially being behind him. This little bit of a draft here might get a little bit of an aero block if Wilson gets it down just a little bit more there, but it is going to burn up those tires a little bit more, especially that right rear, right front. But also trying to get around.
It looks to me like Ty Robertson's driving a little bit harder than Mitchell Wilson right now.
Yeah, and that's a good thing there if you're Mitchell Wilson. You see the guy behind you. It's what we kind of call controlling the pace. You can make the guy behind you drive harder or softer depending on where you're at, especially a good driver like Robertson is going to try to mitigate his tires too while catching up. He's not trying to gain it all in one lap. He's probably looking at a specific time. I want to be this far away by this many laps, or this far away. I want to be making my pass by this lap.
Ty Robertson definitely driving it in a lot deeper than Mitchell Wilson had right now. So you have to think at this point, Mitchell's probably trying to save a little bit of tire. Ty Robertson wasn't comfortable being as far back as he was. At least as far as I've seen, I haven't really seen him challenge Mitchell Wilson for the lead just yet, but he definitely was purposefully closing it in.
As we speak about that, Ira Kohlhaas trying to make a pass here on Brandon Lopez. Lopez falling back to that 5th place spot. Ira Kohlhaas jumping up into the 4th place spot. Greg McConey lurking behind. We've seen him have that speed over the long run. He's now about 7 seconds back. Might be turning it on here soon. And Everett Larson watching the show in front of him. This is good stuff for Everett Larson right here. Just watching this happen. You know those guys are going to wear them out trying to fight each other. So you're just sitting back and waiting and just staying with the pack right now.
I was going to say, we haven't really talked about him, but this is a really good spot for Everett Larson to be in. He's been right there in third place. He's up there in the clean air with the leaders. So he's made sure that he is still up there in that lead pack and is able to be able to challenge for the race lead. But he's got those two guys in front of him that have been battling it out. Mitchell burned him up in the beginning to get around Ty Robertson. Now Ty having to kind of burn him up a little more to get back in front of Mitchell Wilson. If you're Everett Larson, you're just sitting there eating your popcorn, waiting for something to happen.
Yeah, if I'm Everett, I'm not making this pass until I absolutely have to. And what I mean by that is my tires are so good compared to the guys in front of me that it's no longer beneficial to stay behind them. And it will reach a point where it's like that, where you're just on their bumper every turn. You can make a pass easily, you choose not to because you're trying to save it. It's going to reach a point where your tires are just so much better than the guys in front of you, you have to make that pass. But I think I'd wait it out as long as I could, just to let these guys burn them up as much as they can, so that way you can get out front and pull away here at the end. But I love what Mitchell Wilson's doing right now. I mean, just everything you want to do at Phoenix. Protect that inside through 1 and 2 there. Don't let nobody get to your inside on this exit. Definitely don't let nobody get to your inside lane coming here to turn 3.
Big pop of the wall by Everett Larson right there.
Yeah, make him make that pass on the outside. It's a harder lane to pass in. You can definitely do it, but it is a harder lane to do it in. Robertson down to the apron, now got to the inside of Wilson. Wilson going to punch out strong, though. Might have a good run here on the back stretch to hold him off. Going to have to get down
Ty
low.
Robertson has definitely turned it on a notch. I think Ty is going to go ahead and be trying to challenge for this race lead here. He's now looking for his lane. Like you said, Mitchell Wilson doing everything that you're supposed to do at Phoenix to try to prevent the run. And he is definitely making Ty Robertson work for it. Which again, if you want to be there at the end, you got to hope that the person you're racing has also burnt him up. So he's doing everything in his power to try to mess up those tires of Ty Robertson. But Ty Robertson is looking very, very fast right now.
Yeah, Wilson just lets
he's
him
going to
go
get the
there.
race lead back right there.
I don't hate that move either, because you're just burning them up, trying to hold them off, especially if you find yourself mirror driving just a little bit and trying to hold somebody off. You're not going to drive your line that's most ideal for your tires, your setup, your driving style.
Got John Larson in the comments saying Everett loves popcorn. I mean, hey man, I ate a bag of popcorn right before I got on the stream. I love popcorn. But now the thing is, if you're Everett Larson, you want to make sure you don't lose the front two here. They've been up there battling for the last 40 laps at this point. They're all locked in. You have no idea what their tires are going to be looking like. You know what yours are. So you just want to manage your expectations. Don't try to go up there, throw yourself in the middle of a fight with 27 laps to go. Just kind of have that in the back of your mind of, okay, here's when I need to really start stepping on it if I want to get up there and challenge for the win here.
Yeah, the only thing that concerns me about Larson's car right now is the amount of times that he's popped that outside wall in the past few runs here. And it's definitely going to heat up those right side tires a lot, which are the most critical ones here. Usually at most tracks, probably 100% of the oval tracks, but
especially at Phoenix, man, where you drive off that right front so much. And anytime you get on the brakes, like we've seen a couple different times here, you're probably going to look at it as you Everett go around the corner right there. Those right front brake rotors are on fire. So that right side tire is already getting heated up so much with the way you have to drive these cars here at Phoenix. And like you said, unfortunately for Everett, we have seen him catch the wall a couple different times here, even in this run by itself. And you have to imagine that that's not helping that tire wear on that outside right.
And let's hop into a cockpit cam here with Ty Robertson, your current race leader, driving pretty smooth off that corner. Nice and easy on the gas. Going to let it roll down there on the bottom and easy back into the gas. Aim towards the top. Get to that wall. Touches the wall just a little bit there on exit, but the paint don't make you any faster, so. Yeah, you can see coming off that corner ever so slightly there. Driving off that right rear on that turn 2 exit, then hard on that right front here. Where you start to get concerned is where the guys start sliding it through 1 and 2. That's going to mess up that left side, especially in the middle of the corner. The more you mess up those lefts, the less straight speed you're going to have. And that's where people catch you on this backstretch.
Yeah, we saw Robertson getting that lead out to close to 0.8 of a second there for a little bit right there. Looks like he's going to grow it a little bit right here on this exit as they go across the line to make it 21 laps to go here.
I'm surprised
I
he's
saw
still
Mitchell Wilson
able to
closing
shift.
it in a little bit as well.
Yeah, I'm surprised he's still able to shift there on the backstretch. Maybe it's a new setup with these cars or just the track temp with the humidity tonight, but generally if you exit low through turn 2 at Phoenix, you don't have to shift up to 5th on the backstretch. It usually about caps out right as you're about to go into the corner. But the humidity and everything might be a little bit different here. Driving up those RPMs, got to shift a little bit earlier.
Is it possible he's trying to use that downshift to try to get himself into the corner a little bit so he doesn't have to use as much brake?
Absolutely. When you downshift, you get what's called engine brake. It's going to slow your car down a little bit more. Also going to give you just a little bit more rotation, especially on entry and then on exit as well as you're punching the gas. Being in that 4th gear will help you rotate a little bit more out of the corner. Wilson driving a smooth line as well.
Yeah, 100%.
Modulating the throttle a little bit, driving with his feet a little too hard out of the corner there, gets into the wall. As Everett Larson now on his tail looking on the inside. Mitchell Wilson driving it up the track, might overshoot just a little bit there, and now Everett Larson into your 2nd place position, only 9 tenths behind your race leader, Ty Robertson. Meanwhile, Ira Kohlhaas currently 6.4 behind your race leader, but 5 seconds behind 3rd place.
That was a bad pop of wall right there, too. Those right side tires have got to be screaming on these cars at this point.
I'm a little shocked to see Greg back here still. We saw him with that very good long run speed over the course of the race, the first 2 stages, but not making up the time that I thought we would see him make. I'm not sure if he's got some damage there. Saw Brandon Lopez get a little bit sideways earlier, probably burnt some tires up there. Looks like he's got some right front damage as well. It's hard not to at this track coming out and touching that wall.
Oh, 100%. Ty Robertson back in the race lead, though, with 16 laps to go. Everett Larson sitting right at 0.8, just goes over 0.9 of a second right there. If you're Everett Larson at this point, about 16, approaching 15 laps to go here, as you see him catch the wall again. Well, first thing is you got to not do that. But the second thing is whatever tires you have left on that car, now's about the time you need to start working your way up. Phoenix is not the easiest track to pass at. We saw between Ty Robertson and Mitchell Wilson a little while ago. Ty Robertson was driving the wheels off of that thing. It was going extremely fast. And it still took him, 6 or 7 laps? Oh, hard into the wall for Mitchell Wilson right there. It still took him 6 or 7 laps to clear Mitchell Wilson, just because Mitchell Wilson was driving the lines that he needed to. So you got to consider, if Everett does have some tire left on that car and has the speed to get up there to Ty Robertson, you got to consider, especially with a really intelligent driver like Ty Robertson, it's probably going to take him a couple laps to get around him.
Yeah, the trend I'm seeing here though with Everett Larson is he is catching Robertson. Seems like every corner, but then he'll pop the wall just a little bit and he'll set him back to where he was initially. But just there bringing it in almost a 10th from the last lap. Clean lap there for him. Loses a little bit there on entry. I'm not sure if he touched the wall on that one, but I mean, I believe that Everett Larson has the faster car right now.
I was going to say, because, I mean, based on what we saw earlier, if you take that we've seen Everett pop the wall several times, based on the way that Ty Robertson and Mitchell Wilson had to drive each other earlier, there's no world that I see where Everett Larson doesn't have the best tires out of that top three. Where you get funny with it is that I've seen Mitchell Wilson only really pop the wall in the last couple laps, and you can see how that's affected his times. He's now about 2.5 seconds behind the race leader. I've seen Ty touch it a couple times, but nothing crazy, but he had to battle like crazy earlier. So that Everett Larson really would be, you would think, in a prime position. You see Brandon Lopez getting around Ira Kohlhaas right there. But it's just, you have to wonder, and I almost want to, it seems maybe rude to ask, you think you would have had a chance if you hadn't hit the wall so much, but that's kind of the question I would want to ask Everett if he's not able to run down Ty Robertson here with 11 laps to go.
And from the conversations I've had with Everett, I don't think he's going to take that as rude at all. I feel like he's going to laugh about it. I'm not sure he's ever been mad a day in his life. I'm not sure if his parents will agree with me on that one, but
and I know in this case too, I mean, it's friendly rivalry here. Ty and Everett race on the same team, same with Brandon Lopez back there. So I know they're all happy for one another as well, but at the same time, I don't know, all these guys are very, very competitive and want to get out there and win, especially as we are only going to have one race to go for the championship here after tonight at Phoenix. And you have to imagine that Ty Robertson, especially after winning those stages and putting on a pretty dominating performance tonight, you got to imagine that he's really going to be kind of in the front row seat for the championship unless someone can maybe try to steal the win away from him.
he's starting to pull out there just a little bit more now, so got a little bit more tire than we thought he would have here. But what's new with Ty Robertson? The guy is a stud. He knows how to get around a track pretty well. Actually racing his way into the Coca-Cola Series right now, doing the qualifiers and doing pretty well from what I hear. I think every single time that he has a race, we have another race going on. Either we're racing in it or broadcasting. So I haven't been able to catch too much of it.
Yeah, I think he's gotten some top 5 finishes in some qualifiers, actually. There he's starting to build out that lead that we've seen so many times here tonight, where once you kind of get that, like, half second to 0.6 of a second gap, that's either immediately where it starts closing back in, or you're able to really catch that clean air and find your lane and pull away. And Ty Robertson has started to pull away here a little bit, as that lead is going to be approaching 2 seconds with 6 laps to go here at Phoenix. Everett Larson, the only one right now within striking distance. Like we said, probably going to be 2 seconds of the lead for Ty Robertson before this next lap is over. And you have Mitchell Wilson sitting there, is in 3rd place right now, does have that position by, as of right now, a comfortable 4 seconds, but we're able to see if Brandon Lopez is able to run up there and be any sort of challenge for Mitchell Wilson there. As you can see that Mitchell Wilson's lap times have decreased significantly over the last several laps.
Yeah, Lopez is closing the gap over the last 6 laps, brought it in almost a second and a half, almost 2 seconds now over the last 6 laps. So Wilson's going to be seeing that out of his back mirror and going to have to step on it just a little bit to try to hold him off. I think he should be able to do it with 4 laps as long as he keeps it clean. Got Ira Kohlhaas back here in 5th place, up 1 spot from where he started at tonight. Greg McConey in 6th place, taking the apron there, challenging the ice.
Challenging the ice.
Oh, McLaughlin hard into the wall back there. The car's going to get very tight on these drivers as the run goes on, and it gets very frustrating. I know I yelled out in some frustrations before, but it seems like the car just don't want to turn after a few laps, or 20, 30 laps.
And especially at a track like Phoenix, where so much of your run is being able to dig in there to the low side and let it kind of drift back up. All of a sudden, you're not able to stick it to the low side like you were able to when you're coming back out and drifting up towards the wall. You're going a lot faster than you want to. I think we've maybe seen that happen to Everett Larson here several times here tonight, but white flag is going to fly here at Phoenix Speedway. What a run it has been for Ty Robertson here tonight, dominating over the first two stages. Got challenged by Mitchell Wilson in the early stages of this last run here. But in the end, it does not appear that it is going to matter. It is going to be Ty Robertson, your winner at Phoenix Speedway, with a fantastic run here tonight. Everett Larson going to bring it home in second place here tonight. Mitchell Wilson with a really, really strong run. Gave Ty Robertson a run at the end. He's going to come home in third. Brandon Lopez is going to bring it home in fourth place here tonight. Ira Kohlhaas going to finish in the fifth position. Greg McConey going to come home in sixth place. And Thomas McLaughlin going to finish in seventh here tonight. What a run for these guys. We have been challenged tonight by weather. We've been challenged by the internet. And these guys tried to give Ty Robertson a challenge, but it is not going to matter. He is going to be your winner at Phoenix, and he is going to go to that line and burn it down.
Got the signature team celebration.
I say if that's not a media moment for the Last Row Motorsports guys, I do not know what is. Really strong run out of them tonight. Ty Robertson put on one heck of a show here tonight. Mitchell Wilson tried to do everything he could. I think pretty much the only thing that he could do to get up there, but still able to come home in third place for Mitchell. And then a 1-2 finish for those Last Row Motorsports guys. Brandon Lopez coming home in fourth, but what a run for Ty Robertson. All in all, still a dominating run out of him tonight, as I think Everett's having to help him get back down the track. But we appreciate everybody so much for tuning in tonight, sticking with us through the technical difficulties. Still have 18 people out there right now. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Make sure that you stick around for our driver interviews that are coming up here in just a second, and for our championship race that we'll be bringing to you live on this channel next week. But we are going to go ahead, work on getting our top three of Ty Robertson, Everett Larson, and Mitchell Wilson up here for their interviews, and we will be right back once we go ahead and grab those guys.
Welcome back to the Knapp Daddy Racing League. I do have your first place finisher here with Ty Robertson as I pull him up to the booth. Ty, you got a copy of this in the booth?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey man, congratulations on P1 tonight. Usually start with P3 with these interviews, but I wanted to make sure I capture this shot here of you in victory lane. Thought it'd be a cool little shot here. But talk to us about this run here tonight as you went through and looking at tire strategy, especially there at the end. Mitchell Wilson challenging late, able to come back and get around and win this thing.
Yeah, the big thing is right there at the beginning of the run. I was kind of on the balance of driving it kind of hard and not over driving it. So you just gotta try not to slide your tires as much as you can. If you slide them, the fall off here hits like immediately. So as soon as it hits, you're gonna feel it. That's what I was trying to do all race. Is just take care of it and not overdrive them. And luckily it worked out. We had clean air for most of the race, so that helped out a little. When Mitchell got by me there, it kind of put me in dirty air, made it a little more difficult, but still able to do it pretty decent.
Yeah, it was a pretty dominating performance by you. I know we talked last week, I believe it was last Sunday or Sunday before last, about using that high side on turn 3 and 4. Did you find yourself utilizing that a little bit more tonight or trying some other things?
And I think with it being colder temperatures and the track being a little more grippy, it's kind of it's hard to run the top when it's more grippy because the bottom sticks a lot better. I also noticed that in 1 and 2 I couldn't get as much speed up there in the top of 1 and 2, so I tried to stick to the bottom both ends. It kind of takes care of your tires better on the bottom, so it always works out better for me if I just roll on the bottom.
Absolutely, man. We're heading to Charlotte next week. You got a pretty comfortable lead on this playoff points race here. Talk to us about Charlotte and what you're looking to bring home next week.
Yeah, hopefully we can put it in victory lane. Just even if we do have a points lead, we may not have to win it, but for my own, feeling successful, I want to win the race. I always do when I come into a race. So hopefully we can put it in victory lane and have a good run there. If not win, at least be on the podium. Maybe one of my teammates can get the win there.
Absolutely, man. Well, congratulations again on P1 tonight. Going to move yourself up pretty far in the points, and looking forward to talking to you next week.
Yes, sir. Y'all too.
That's going to be Ty Robertson, your first place finisher tonight. Coming up next, I have Everett Larson coming in second place. Everett, you got a copy of this in the booth?
Yep.
Hey, man, congratulations on P2 tonight. Just talked to Ty about that last stage there. Mitchell Wilson, very fast all night and challenging there at the very end. We were kind of watching you sitting in P3 and wondering what the strategy was there. Talk to us what it was like sitting behind those two guys for all those laps.
Well, the main word I can describe sitting behind 2 cars in front of you at Phoenix would be the word tight. And honestly, pretty exciting, but mostly boring. And in all honesty, I was really hoping they would kind of slow each other down more than they did whenever they started battling. But that never happened, so I just had to get by Mitchell there at the end. And it was just really I had a couple laps battle with Mitchell earlier, so I didn't know what to expect whenever I got to him, or if I were to get to die. But they just really passed each other in 1 or 2 laps, and I'm like, ah, crap. Well, now I actually have to work for it. So there at the end, I know I was catching Ty, and he knew I was catching him, but he was trying to save as much fuel as he could. So that didn't really work out in my favor. There at the end, he pulled away by like 3 seconds around there. It's just something crazy. But honestly, for Phoenix, I can be pretty happy with second there. Plus, somehow I started in the back, and then Batista bombed it around the outside on lap 1.
Well, I know earlier you said you did not like Phoenix coming here tonight, and then second place finish tonight. How do you feel about Charlotte next week?
I really, really like Charlotte. I used to think it was super narrow, and then I got Darlington, and now Charlotte feels like Talladega. So I'm very, very excited for Charlotte. I do know that at that track, the painted line there, you have to run that to tire save the most you can. But the outside lane's really fast there too, so I'm just super excited for that.
Yes, sir. It sounds like it's going to be a good time, good shootout there at the very end, and a good night of points for you here as well at Phoenix. But I think I forgot to ask Ty. Just classic mistake again tonight by John. But any sponsors or shout-outs you want to give before I let you go?
Boot City, Quality Heat and Air, you guys for doing the live stream, King Sport Fitness, Han Doctor, my good friend Corey LaJoy, my grandma and grandpa Larson, Zamp Racing, and any of my friends and family for watching the live stream.
Yes, sir. Well, congrats again on finishing in second place tonight. Looking forward to talking to you at Charlotte next week.
Thank you.
All right, have a good one.
You too, man.
It's going to be Everett Larson finishing up in second place tonight after a good run and saving the tires pretty well. I forgot to ask Ty about any sponsor or shout outs. I think I'm going to try to hit him here for him. Going to go with Team Conti and Atlantic Cabinets, I believe, on the side of his car. And Knapp Daddy Racing, I guess. That's on the side of his car as well. I am so sorry, Ty. I'll let you get some next week before and after the race. But coming up next, I do have your third place finisher in Mitchell Wilson. I'm going to try to pull him up here to the booth for you. Let's see if Mitchell has a copy with us here. Hey, Mitchell, you got a copy with us in the booth?
Yeah, I got you guys.
Perfect, man. That's having some issues here tonight. I want to say congratulations on coming in third place tonight. I want to talk to you a little bit about that strategy there at the very end. Coming into the last stage, saw you really making an effort to try to get out front and did so successfully. Talk to us about that run there.
I seen it. Ty was so successful, being out front. So I kind of figured maybe it was something with clean air. So I figured maybe I should try to, get out front and see what clean air would do for the car. And when I did get by him, it felt good. But just because you got clean air doesn't mean you can't burn up your tires.
Yeah, very fast speed out there, especially over that last stint. Did you find yourself gravitating towards a certain line? We saw you wrap that high side in 1 and 2 quite a bit there, and then starting to go low later on during the run. Did you find a line was working better for you?
Felt like kind of early on the low line, pretty much all the way around was really really fast. But then there was times where I felt like the high line, I believe it'd be 1 and 2. No, 3 and 4. That felt like I could get really good exit. But it just playing around with the lines, really seeing where was speed, high or low or even mid. Sometimes there was speed.
Brad has a chance to win this year.
Yeah, we are heading to Charlotte next week. I'm trying to pull up the points here in the background while I can see just about what, and trying to update the points at the same time, for being honest, so I can see what you need. But I think this might move you up maybe into the 4th place spot. There's going to be payouts for the top 5 drivers in this league this season. What are you looking to do at Charlotte? Is there anything that you're going to put down more time for, or looking to beat a certain person when you go to Charlotte next week?
Really, I'd really like to cap off the season with a with a win. I really want to try to go and win it, regardless if it's going to get me up to P1 or not. I still want to try to get a win this season. Had some struggles at points in the season, so I think capping it off with a win would be very nice. But it's going to be tough. There's a lot of fast guys in the league, so.
Yeah, sir. You've been knocking on the door all year. We've been waiting to see you get one. I think it's coming soon. If not this season, next season for sure. I know you're going to pick up a few, especially over the course of the next few seasons here. But very fast run tonight. Looking forward to seeing more of you over the next race and the next season as we come into this next Xfinity season starting in about a month or so. But before I let you go, any sponsor or shout outs you want to give?
I want to give a shout out to you guys putting on the broadcast and everything. You guys do a hell of a job. I know a lot of people that watch definitely enjoy the broadcast that you guys do. I want to give a shout out to my dad, my younger brother, new nephew, of course the old lady and the kids for kind of letting me sneak off and do this every Monday, and then Dagan for giving me a spot tonight. That really helped out.
Yes, sir. Cannot beat a spot, having a spotter in the booth or up there in the spotter stand watching out for you. I vouch to that. I swear by it. It helps out tremendously. So shout out to Dagan up there spotting for you tonight. But congrats again on P3 tonight, and looking forward to talking to you next week.
Absolutely. Thank you guys. Can't wait.
Yes, sir. Have a good one.
You too.
It's going to be Mitchell Wilson finishing up in P3 tonight. But that is going to be just about it for us here at Phoenix. Very clean race, not any cautions at all. besides the stage cautions. And we are heading to Charlotte next week. That's going to be starting the same time right here on Knapp Daddy Racing on YouTube, 8:15 Eastern time for our last race of the season. We'll try to see some of these guys bring it home. Going to be a fun one. I like Charlotte a whole lot. Hunter, what are your thoughts?
Man, fun race tonight again. I've just been so impressed by these guys and how they've been able to run tough tracks with tough drivers and keep it clean. It's so much fun to watch. You really get to see the strategy that these guys put into this thing with their tires, fuel strategy, and things like that. And so a really fun race to watch tonight. Charlotte's one of my favorite tracks to watch in general. And I know a lot of guys feel like it's a very strong track for them as well. So I think we're going to have a really good competition next week. Like you said, guys battling it out, trying to get to that top 5 and get some payout on the season. And I just think it's going to be an awesome race. I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely, man. Going to be a little bit longer one there at Charlotte. We're going to be going 200 laps there. 2 stage breaks as well to wrap up the season. Get these guys as much chances to win this thing as possible. Or at least get higher up. Top 5 in this league will get payouts for finishing in the top 5 positions, I guess, of the playoffs. But we are wrapping up this season next week. Going to be a fun time. Then starting up in about a month after that, going to be the O'Reilly Series, formerly known as the Xfinity Series. Going to be starting up on Monday nights. And on Saturday nights, a rotating schedule of Gen 6, 87s, and IR18 cars with a very good track schedule that the admins have put together for this league. And I say admins, not including myself, because I didn't do much to help with it, but I'm excited for it. I know me and you are going to be out on the track with these guys driving. I know Baker's going to be back driving with us on Saturday nights. I got some more faces joining the crowd, and hopefully on Monday nights too, as we expand it. If you're looking for a place to drive, come out, join us. Make sure you reach out to us on YouTube, or you can go to our website and use that contact page form to reach out to us, or email us at knappdaddyracing@gmail.com, and we'll get you in here to the league. But other than that, that's going to be just about it for us tonight. It has been a fun one. Cannot wait for next week to see this playoff series wrap up and give somebody some money. I got money just burning a hole in my pocket trying to give it away to these drivers, so excited for that. But for the last time tonight, I have been John.
And I've been Hunter.
And we will see you guys next time.
Take care, everybody.